Human trafficking. What do you mean human trafficking? Human trafficking. You almost swear that some of the parents who raise children are planning to traffic their children. You almost swear that. I don't want to say that. Remember the law of 1846 that Britain outlawed slavery in their colonies? Yes, but they created indentured servants, just like the ones they had when they were building up this country, the British colonies, right? You had indentured servants coming to or being basically uprooted in England, Great Britain, Scotland, Ireland, and being dumped in the country as indentured servants. You work 10 years and you get an axe and a shovel and a pick, and they go west. Right. One of the ways of cleaning up the forest and killing the Indians. Because they had more indentured servants than there was the Indian tribes had. Yes. In 1846, they got rid of slavery and they got indentured servants. One of the things is what does that mean? That means they moved people around because they owed money. Debtors, that thing. So they would move people from everything they had. They replaced the slaves with people from India. So one day he's a slave here and he's replaced from somebody from India or one of the British colonies. Oh, you better know it. That's one of the reasons that Jamaica had a large population of people from India. Canada has a large population from India. And Britain has a large population from India, because the indentured servants replaced the slaves in the British colonies, which is very practical. It's like, why was Australia populated with the British? Those were the convicts. Before 1776, this was a dropping place of convicts in Europe, France, Germany, mainly England. You can't rehabilitate them, so you load them up here. They come to the Americas and you drop them. They come to Americas in chains and they're dropped at British ports. Yeah, you know. So when the War of 1776 occurred, they already had ships that they used as prison ships because they already had chains hanging up there. Well, that's what the prisoners came from England with. They came over in chains in the ships, and they got dumped them off, and then you go back to England, and you pick up another load and chain them up, and you drop them in the United States. So when the War of 1776 happened, they already had ships which had chains in it, with something like 12,000 prisoners they took, colonists they put on the ships, and only 2,000 made it because smallpox broke out. And what happened to the prisoners in the ship? Well, you go halfway to England and you dump them overboard. What happened to the dead? You went out into the Atlantic Ocean and you dumped them. And you came back and you got more prisoners. And what happened? They got smallpox. Dump, 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 dump. Back. They got smallpox. Was there a vaccination for smallpox? Oh yeah, there was vaccination for smallpox. But the British decided not to vaccinate them. They're British subjects. We're not going to vaccinate them. They're going to when they die. And sometimes they would fill up a ship and introduce smallpox into it and basically sail back toward England. And halfway through, all the prisoners died and they dumped them. Mass murder, genocide? Sure, why not? Yes, now that's war for you. You really don't want to return them to, quote, to the colonies again, because what are they going to do? They're going to pick up arms and try to kill British soldiers.